Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, SonW318, back again for another video for you guys. And today, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for your WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 review. Yep, the hellish nature of the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view event has finally come and gone, and we are here to finally talk about it, to give you guys some overall thoughts, breaking scores, and all that jazz heading out of the show here for this review of Hell in a Cell. Because obviously enough, why else would you be here? So, I was about to freaking do my predictions. He's like, by the time I record this video, well, guess what? We ain't counting down to this pay-per-view event because it's already over. Blah. We can count down to the next pay-per-view event with Money in the Bank coming up next, but we ain't doing that till the next video up next, with it being my Money in the Bank predictions. So blah. So with that said, we're not gonna wait on that. This is now. We're gonna focus on the now, and we're gonna start this review with this rundown of my Hell in a Cell stuff. So with that said, let's get started, shall we? So with that said, let's go. So Hell in a Cell, we kicked off Hell in a Cell 2022 with none other than Bianca Belair taking on Asuka and taking on Becky Lynch in a triple threat women's match for the Raw Women's Championship. My pick for this match was for Bianca Belair to win, and she won this match, so that's my freaking score 1-0. And my thoughts on this match was quite a nice match to start off the show on. Everyone had their time to shine in the ring, and overall delivered on an enjoyable triple threat working together. Granted, I didn't quite like how the match ended the way it did, with Belair simply throwing out Lynch to pin Asuka off the manhandle slam, but I suppose it fits, seeing as Lynch seemed to always want to throw out Asuka every time she wanted to have a chance to pinning it or getting some match-ending offense on her opponents. So with that said, not a match that was too crazy or anything to me, but again, still a fun one to start off on. So blah. And I want to apologize if you saw that flash of light, because like I said, I was trying to switch my phone back off from low battery mode to, turn it off, so I don't have to freaking keep tapping my phone to keep freaking turning it back on from that shit, so I can freaking keep seeing what I'm looking at, and I accidentally turned on my flashlight for a split second. So if you saw that, I do apologize. So, blah. Moving on from that botch, we now carry on the show we have Omos and MVP taking on Bobby Lashley in a 2-on-1 handicap match. My prediction for this match was for Lashley to win, but could see MVP and Omos winning it if this feud isn't quite done yet. And my prediction came true, as Lashley did in fact win this match. So my prediction score 2-0. And my thoughts on this match was, let me rephrase this. Tongue twister from the very jump. Let me rephrase this once again. Just as with their other matches, this one wasn't too bad at all things considered. And man, was Lashley over in Chicago, huh, folks? Seriously, man, oh man, oh man, was he over? But yeah, match might have been slow and methodical here and there, but still an entertaining match for sure. Here's to hoping we see this be it for the feud, and Lashley goes on to other things heading into Money in the Bank, but that is to be seen, obviously enough. So with that said, that is that. So moving on, next, we have Kevin Owens taking on Ezekiel. My prediction for this match was for Ezekiel to win this match, and he lost this match, so this is my prediction score, 2-1. And my thoughts on this match was, wish there was more to this match. Because, man, it was a fun and entertaining one while it lasted, for sure, to say the least. With a result I'm sure most people didn't see coming, to say the least as well. Granted, not too sure if this was a way to close up the feud just yet, but we'll just have to see what's to come out of these two moving forward. Which obviously, as we've seen on Raw, we've seen the whole segment saying like, oh, admit it, you're Elias once again, blah 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 blah, and then freaking Ezekiel's pretty much pulled the shit underneath Kevin Owens' rug, and he followed his rules, but he just said, haha, I lied, I'm still Ezekiel. So I guess we're not done with this shit just yet. So I guess we're not done. So blah. Moving on from that. Anywho, moving on, we have the Judgment Day taking on the team of AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan. My prediction for this match is for Judgment Day to win, whether it's with the arrival of a new member or not, to just keep it pushing the feud going strong, obviously enough. And boy, oh boy, has WWE freaking turned the tides before it comes to the Judgment Day as of late. Because man, oh man. We'll touch on that in a second, though. But my prediction nonetheless came true, as the Judgment Day won this match, as my prediction score was 3-1. And my thoughts on this match was, I don't quite think words alone can describe just how enjoyable this match was. Each team truly gelled together perfectly, fighting against one another, and needless to say, it left me quite invested on it all. Round of applause and definite thumbs up, freaking all around for sure. That's making this the match of the night so far in my heart personally. So, yay! So once again, truly mad props for whoever the hell produced, wrote, and executed this match all together at once. Pretty much everything all to consider. This match was definitely, one of, if not the match of the night to me personally. So definitely, I get to give credit where credit is due for this shit right there. So, as I said, there's that. And like I said before, Judgment Day sure as hell is looking rather interesting, to say the least, coming out of the show. Now, am I right, guys? Because obviously enough. We have now a change of Judgment Day, because obviously with now Finn Balor being the helm of the team, with Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley, with Edge being no longer being the freaking leader, because obviously they felt as if he was holding them back. For whatever reason. I don't fucking know. WWE potentially wants to just, yes, it might have been a swerve, but yet again, could it be a swerve that already killed the Judgment Day before they even got freaking much momentum going on for them? That's to be seen. So hopefully not. Hopefully this gives, these three superstars something to do with Balor, Priest, and Ripley, something to do for once, for them being together, and hopefully they can actually keep the shit going forward for Judgment Day. And obviously I know why, because obviously, as we'll touch on the bit, with obviously WWE being lackluster and having no real true stars to have him behind them to push currently, with the legs of both Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes kind of being sidelines out of the way for right now, for the unforeseeable future for right now. For them being still on the sidelines, they kind of had no one really to be their main, the really big top guys. I mean, sure, you have guys like Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre and shit like that, but obviously you gotta have like more people to legit have more eyes on the product. So I guess having Edge turn face again, legit be that kind of person once again, gives WWE a reason to actually keep going forward with their programming. So there's that. So as I said, there's a reason why. But let's just hope that WWE does not freaking shoot themselves in the foot and kill Judgment Day before they actually get going. So as I said, fingers crossed, hold your breath, and hopefully Finn Balor, Rhea Ripley, and Damian Priest, and potentially whoever else wants to join them, if so be it, can keep Judgment Day going forward. But if not, then whatever. It was what it was. It failed before it got started, sadly enough. So as I said, there you go. Moving on next. We have Madcap Moss taking on Baron Corbin in a no-holds-barred match. My picks for his match was for Madcap Moss to win, and he won this match with a prediction score 4-1. And my thoughts on this match was, match had quite the intensity and drive it needed to deliver an enjoyable one to see. Granted, I would have wanted to see a bit more than just chairs and the steel steps being used, as much as Chi-Town wanted it to be used, because obviously with them constantly, calling for a table, which they finally got in the Hell in a Cell match, thankfully enough, so there's that. But for what it was done and brought out for it all, enough was put on and delivered to bring on a successful match between these two, to say the least. So obviously, while I could have wanted more of this match, it's a CD where it did, and that's pretty much where I'm just gonna leave it, and that's pretty much where I'm just gonna leave things at that. So said, moving on next, we have Austin Theory taking on Mustafa Ali for the United States Championship. My picks for this match was Theory for the win, but with or without the assist of either The Miz or, more importantly, Tommaso Ciampa to set off Ali to feud with him properly after this match. So blah, there's that. Which none of that shit happened, obviously. So blah. I mean, me pointing this down both a Hell in a Cell or even just currently going off and hanging out of the show legit, both on Raw and into this real. Nothing's happening, but who knows? Something can change along the ways. But blah, that's to be seen. So that's to be seen. Heading on to either next, Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, whatever. That's to be seen. Blah blah. Anywho's, my prediction came true as Austin Theory won this match, and that's my prediction score 5-1. And my thoughts on this match was, it took me a bit to personally get into this match due to the past two ones fatiguing me a bit. But once it grabbed me, I was hooked on it for sure. truly gave the crowd something to be invested in as their hometown boy almost pulled out a W against Theory, but just couldn't get the job done to end things off on, as Theory came through with the ultimate moves to be the victor in this match. So, blah, there is that. And now we have moved on to the big huncho of the night, with it being the Hell in a Cell match between Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins. Obviously enough, to main event the show. My prediction for this match was for Cody Rhodes to win, and he won this match, so that's my prediction score. I can't really do it anymore, but 6-1. 6 wins and 1 lose. And my thoughts on this match was, match definitely had all eyes on it from the opening bell, as Rhodes' injury played such a heavy role in this match. I mean, how could it not? Just looking at him truly was cringing enough to get him through the match, to be honest. Obviously not, because boy oh boy oh boy, that pec. God, that pec injury. Just, oh my god. In either case, though, this surely did give everyone something to see, as Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes pulled out all the stops to ultimately deliver quite a fitting end to their feud within this match. As this to me probably was the best out of their matches, to say the least. So, was it the match of the night? Hard to say for me personally, but both contenders surely gave it their all by the end of the night for sure. Between both this and, the Judgment Day and Styles, Morgan, and at the time, Balor. At the time. So that is that for that match. And as I said before, at the end of this match, and overall my score of the show was 6 wins and 1 lose. And my overall thoughts on the show to close out this review on a high note was, show definitely went beyond expectations to give us a show that definitely lived up to the stakes given its name throughout its various matches. Had my attention 9 out of 10 times throughout it all, and just kept showing no sign of slowing down the momentum as it kept tracking along. An outright amazing show? Not entirely, not entirely an outright amazing show, as I'm picking up this freaking slight botch, but most definitely worth the watch and enjoyable time in doing so. So with this said and done, ladies and gentlemen, this has concluded my WWE Hell in a Cell 2022 review. And I would like to say this right now, I hope you guys enjoyed both the show. Enjoyed it enough, because some, as I've seen, some might have felt that it was kind of weak at some points, and just not overall. I mean, I will leave it here right now. It wasn't a downright awful show. No one's really raving and ranting and venting on this show. That is the most good and most positive thing I can say about it. Most people I see as it either being a kind of just an okay or mid show, or to me, I feel like it was actually pretty good. So, thankfully enough, we can at least say that the show, for the most part, overall, from the eyesight of us fans, we can at least say that it was at least a legit, watchable and legit, and at least in a sense, enjoyable show for the most part, no matter which way you want to see, whether it was the whole way through, or just picking your bits in between out through it all. You can at least say that for the most part, everyone at least had at least a decent time watching the show. And that's pretty much a good and most positive thing you can legit say heading out of this show. So there you go with that. So, overall, guys, once again, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the show, and hope you enjoyed this review from mine. And I would like to let you say right here, right now, want to make a formal announcement here right now, closing out this review. Since I have kind of deciphered, I've actually kind of redo this again, and hopefully this time legit kind of put this shit on a legit postcard and on a legit staple right here and now. Here, legit, put it on the notepad sticking to my freaking forehead that I cannot reach because of my gosh darn hat. My gosh darn bill thing of my gosh darn hat. I will put this thing on my gosh darn forehead for a sticky note to remember myself. My update video that I keep pressing and keep talking to you guys and teaching you guys about will, in fact, finally officially come after SummerSlam. That is going to be I'm putting my foot down and legit officially saying right now, I will make that I will make that video right after my review of SummerSlam 2022, and that will be officially when you will get that channel update video, as it's something that I've been pressing and once again I've been pressing and I've kind of been stressing about, keep pushing out to you guys like, oh yeah, there's a channel update video coming, guys. There's a video coming out. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. And just never did. So, but officially now, because like I said before, I officially had it set after WrestleMania 38, because obviously the timing of that would have been strong, but now I'm taking into considering now, I am legitimately putting it in the placement of then to now, after SummerSlam, and taking what I want to say, during Summer, and taking my notes or whatever I had mentally to what to say, in replacement of WrestleMania into the place of SummerSlam. I will put that placement there instead for the sake of context and legit just for the sake of what I have to say in that video coming up, let alone the fact alone. So with that said, stay tuned for that video to come right after my SummerSlam review of next, obviously, and then, because obviously right now, we still gotta go through Money Bank before we go to the freaking biggest part of the event of the summer at SummerSlam, obviously enough. So with that said, once again, guys, I thank you all for watching this review of Hell in a Cell 2022, and I shall see you guys next time, finally enough for Money in the Bank 2022 coming up next here on the channel. Enough with my predictions coming up next soon enough within the next couple of weeks. So, with the set and that out of the way, I'm 7318, and I am signing out. Peace, guys.